Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bulldog Speed here. We are here at Daytona for Daytona qualifying, 15-minute session. The top two drivers will be on the front row as our first driver is coming out of pit road. So let's take a look. I believe that was the 83 of Edwin Mendez, and it is. So Edwin Mendez driving the number 83 starter Toyota here for this race weekend at Daytona. It's the first season Edwin has been in the NRSL before, but we'll see what this 83 team is capable of doing. Behind him in the number 17 NOS Ford Fusion is DJ Curtis. So we'll see. These draft laps could be key in drivers getting front row starts. Martin Suarez will drive the number 14 Chevrolet for Daytona. If you look in your bottom right, you've got the how much time is running out here in practice. Lap counts in the bottom left. Lap times in the top right with the speed in the top center. Driver in the top left. Tony Green will be driving the 18 this season. This brand new series for Cup Series. Some of these guys are running trucks too, as we got Jake Rogers in the 43, William Brox in the 7. There's Jonathan Sorlin 42, Zachary Fitzwater in the 47 Chevrolet, Austin Alves in the 16, who held the all-times winless mark back in Mountain Dew Voltage. Cup, Seth Cole will be in the 13, Emmanuel Hartnett's in the 20, Johnny Gardner in the 32. Colin Denton in the 21, James Shelley in the 27, Alexander Rowe is in the 10, James Qualls is running in the 70. We got Michael Amato in the 24, that was the Season 1 AT&T Cup champ, or Voltage Cup champ. Andrew Rich will be driving in the 53. That's one of the few darts in the field. There's a girlfriend, Deanna Jones, who runs a Toyota. That's Super Speedway ace Adam Rogers. Joshua Sekuli in the 31. Charles Jackson running in the 11. Nate Rogers in the 89. Grayson Acevedo in the 5. We're looking through the field, just seeing anybody else coming out. Here's Caleb Hoffman running in the 22. Nico Tringali will be running in the 8. Philip Parker will run in the 4. Chris Dodd in the 88. Samet Oskin, I believe it is pronounced, is in the 23. That guy's actually from Sweden. Eric Benson, John Arndt in the 1 and the 48. Tyler Marco will run in the 9. Alex Ray in the 46. Jay Barker in the 6. Zach Rogers in the 19. Nick Smith in the 41. Philip Goldberg in the 26. Peter Sands in the 12. Zach Flickinger will be in the 3 with Charles Sanford in the 03. And I believe that is everybody. Dylan Young in the 2. LJ Toledo in the 78. Now that should be everyone. I'm just making one last cycle around here. Nobody is coming out of pit road, so that is everybody. So as we approach 11 minutes left in the session, let's take a look at the lap times right now. It's James Qualls with a 46.395 at the top of the board. DJ Curtis in second with a 46.594. Now these guys are decently spread out across the racetrack, so it's going to be interesting how draft works with who and whatnot. As Grayson Acevedo goes to the top with Nate Rogers in second. There will be Daytona duels, so later tonight. So the guys you see qualify anywhere from third on down, their positions are up to change. But this pack right here seems to have some of the faster drivers. We talked about Nate Rogers up on second on the board right now with Acevedo with the fastest lap. And these guys are getting some draft maybe from the pack behind them. So Ace Vado and Nate Rogers are your top two. A couple things to talk about here. As Colin Denton just went to the top of the board. Let's find the 21. Him in the 20 right here, this pack here. Colin Denton to P1 with a Hartnett up to P2. And actually Nico Tringali in this pack went up to P3. Let's talk about some things new to this NRSL series, as Denton actually ran a 45.973. That's the first 45-second lap time in this practice session with 9 minutes remaining. Now, first things first, new roof camera for the series. Here it is, much better view. As somebody's actually going down pit road. But this will be the roof camera for the Mountain Dew for the Win Cup series, as Caleb Hoffman and Johnny Gardner just climbed to the top. They're running in this pack, actually. And Gardner up to second now with Hoffman up to P1. Seth Cole is actually P36 running with these guys. But Hoffman with a 45.799. That is a blistering lap time. Gardner with the 45.890. And like I said, you know, there are going to be duels tonight. 2 21-car duels. Where the rest of the guys will try to navigate where they're going to start in the field, try and get a better starting spot on their line, as Seth Cole just moved up to P3. So this 5-car pack has the top 5 times, with 4 of them in the 45-second bracket. See some of these guys way back here. They'll be starting in the way back in their respective duels. So we have roughly 7.5 minutes left. Simon Oskin has not been able to run a lap in the draft. Him and it appears maybe some others, John Arnn and Eric Benson, have not had good laps at all. And can we find those two? And they are nowhere to be seen. They must be on pit road, and they are. But Benson in 42nd, that's not what he wants at all. Grayson Ace Vado is still in 7th. Nate Rogers 8th. Tony Green is 9th. Catching drivers at certain points can be really helpful, as some of those front runners starting to maybe come down a little bit in pit. This is your top 5 guys right here. Hoffman's time still roughly a 10th faster, as Ace Vado just jumped back up to P3 with a 45.959. And we'll see if any of these guys in this draft get faster lap times. You can check in the top right what lap times are getting transpired, as some drivers are coming back out on the track with 6.5 minutes left in this session. But right now it's going to be a Ford front row, as Alex Gray, I believe, just jumped up to P4 with a 45.961. And now Peter Sands jumps back up to P3 with a 45.941. So now we have 7 drivers in the 45th bracket. And now even a bigger jump, as Charles Jackson jumps up to P2 with a 45.870. Voice crack on my part. Tony Green goes up to P8. But Grayson Ace Vado actually ran a fast lap too. Johnny Gardner now has been pushed down to P4. Hoffman still with the fastest time, but let's go and find this pack. And here it is. They are 3 wide, and Ace Vado up to P3 with Charles Jackson in this group in 2nd. Who's to say these guys can't run a faster lap time? And Nate Rogers did just that. Nate Rogers now with a 45.941. He goes up to P5. And Charles Sanford ran his fastest up to 13th with a 46.033. 5 minutes left in the session. Some drivers coming back out, but nothing has changed. Caleb Hoffman still leading. Now this could be a pack to reckon with right here. if they can get in the right zone. And Chris Dodd actually with a 45.910 has jumped up to P5 on the board. And he's still flying. If he can get the right run and the right amount of draft, you could see Dodd maybe with an actually faster lap time this time by. We'll stay here for now. This is his 11th lap in the session, and we'll see what he can do. He's going to peak low here off the exit. He gets the little back push from Alexander Rowe. Will it be a faster lap time? And it's not. It's slower. And James Qualls now with a 45.878. He jumps up to P3. Excuse me, I'm coughing here. So a little pack there. This pack's still working hard. Caleb Hoffman's just praying like nobody gets close to that 799. Charles Jackson, though, is within striking distance. You got some guys running 878s, 890s. Nothing really going on in this top 10. No changes. Hoffman's just waiting for the clock to run out. He's got 3 minutes left here. And these guys are actually maybe about to catch the smaller pack in front of them, and that could, if draft works the right way for these guys, they could get a faster lap time. Seth Cole in P11. Under 3 minutes left in the session. Johnny Gardner is P5 still. Jonathan Sorlin is in P31. Philip Parker with his best lap, he is P34. And has everybody run a draft lap is the question. And it looks like Nick Smith has the slowest lap of a 46.722. But we have at least 16 drivers in the 45-second bracket. And the top 5 with an 8 or greater. 890 or greater. Here's another big pack right here. As Grayson Ace Vado has done it again. Back up to P2. With just 2 minutes left with a 45.866. Beating Charles Jackson's lap time by 4/1000ths of a second. So he jumps back up to P2 on the front row. And Chris Dodd. No, that's not Chris Dodd. That's Nico Tringali in the 8 car. Just set a 45.787. Bringing him to the top of the board. Amato ran a 45.850. That shifted him up to P3. And Adam Rogers just ran a 45.779. Deanna Jones with a 45.781. Right behind Ace Vado. Adam Rogers, the Super Speedway ace back in Mountain Dew Voltage Cup. Could he get the pole for the first race in the Mountain Dew for the Win Cup Series? That would not be surprising, but that would be pretty cool for him, showing he still got what it takes after a couple of years off to race these super speedways. Under a minute to go here. We're going to go to our broad overview here with 30 seconds left as the time clocks down. There's your top 28 as Caleb Hoffman goes back to the top of the board with a 45.437. Seth Cole, a 45.5. Jake Rogers, a 45.551. Gardner with a 45.657. This wasn't what I was talking about. These were 2 packs that you're seeing right here. These were 2 packs. They got combined. The pack behind was the 22, 13, 43, and 32. They got the big draft hookup. And that's the result. Blistering lap times here now as Gardner's going down pit road. He's like, we're not going to get any faster than that. 25 seconds left in the standby. But what a last turn of events. It looked like Adam had the best time, but like I said, those two packs hooked up. And practice will be official here in 5 seconds left if anybody's got anything. And it is official. Caleb Hoffman will be the pole sitter for the Season 1 NRSL Mountain Dew For the Win Cup Series Daytona 500. So congrats to Hoffman with the 45.437. As Seth Cole will start second with the 45.500. I have taken my export there, so let's look through the rest of the field. If you know how duels work, it's odds 21 in the first duel, evens 21 in the second duel. Those will be run at night in 20-lap events. So Jake Rogers P3, Gardner P4, Adam Rogers is P5, Deanna Jones P6, Nico Tringali 7th, Colin Denton 8th, Charles Jackson 9th, and Mike Amato will round out the top 10. Amato was actually the first driver ever to win a Daytona 500 in my offline series history. Grayson Ace Vado, James Qualls, Dylan Young 13th, Hartnett, Dodd, Nate Rogers, Peter Sands, Edwin Mendez, Alex Gray, and Alexander Rowe round out the top 20. James Shelley, Tony Green. So just about half the field ran in the 45-second bracket. Charles Sanford with 23rd, John Arndt 24th, Philip Parker, Philip Goldberg, Samet Oskin, Jay Barker, LJ Toledo, Andrew Rich, Joshua Sakuli, Tyler Merkel, Nick Smith, Jonathan Sorlin, DJ Curtis, Zach Flickinger, Martin Suarez, Zach Rogers, William Brock, Eric Benson, Austin Alves, and Zachary Fitzwater. That is the whole field. So I will see you guys tomorrow night for the dual races. So I hope to see you then. That should be fun under the lights. 2 20-lap races. This has been Bulldog Speed. I will see you guys next time.